Station Sama Gimel, which is Tanzania, also taught the Netherlands from Sheffield. Yeah, I was right. Great. It's reminded me. It's nice that Yankee Herzog,
Yeah.
he was a kid. He was like Chibbas by the Rebbe, him and his father. Little kid.
Yes.
And the Rebbe asks him if he met the king yet. It's Elul.
Right.
He didn't know what the Rebbe wanted.
Right.
Little kid.
Right.
Yeah. Little kid comes to the Rebbe, Yankee Herzog. Actually, my Shviga's cousin. Comes to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe asks him, little kid, no, did you meet the king yet? Oh, right, did you meet the king yet? Didn't know what the Rebbe wants from him, right?
He told us this last night.
Did he?
No. Yeah. Sounds familiar. No.
Hey, it's a famous story. It's not a secret. Famous story. It's probably heard it.
The kid did not know what the
Didn't know what the Rebbe wanted.
right. He says something about every time you say
Very good. He says every time you say a bracha, you say Baruch Atah Hashem, you're greeting the king. Say Baruch Atah Hashem, you. Baruch Atah Hashem, you're greeting the king. That's greeting the Baruch.
I hope he lived all his life with this.
I'm sure he did. The Rebbe Score told him.
Especially with Shama, you know. You know what I will answer? I see the king at the front of me.
Oh, beautiful. You're a tzaddik.
That's what it
Right, so this Maimer is said Shabbos Parsha today, and it's work from Achish Elul. Was said right before Elul. The year is Tafshin Chavav. Yeah, this is the year of 1966.
me coming to the wall.
That's your year you were born? Wow. Around this time also?
No, I'm on the contract.
This is as the end of the year, since probably you're already
Born in here.
in here. Okay, so you're ready.
I was bar mitzvah.
That was the first time in Yesod Lubavitch Elul.
Oh,
I don't like one to parade. How old you were?
the king.
Okay? Eight.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, 65. You're not
What's your year?
Go to. Oh. Wow.
Wow, okay. I'm about to little. Yeah. Okay.
You don't look it. You're better than me.
Look like you're born before the revolution.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Me.
So the name is Anila Day, right? So we know,
Sure.
right? I'm sure everyone knows that there's actually two Maimarim in the Kurtatera. Anila Day. One says Rei B'Shashanim, adds a little more. Anila Day is based on one of the Maimarim in the Kurtatera, actually. And this Maimer, this Drush, Anila Day became the Maimer. And there's a lot of Maimarim connected with Elul, with Slichus, a lot of different Maimarim, but this Maimer is the Maimer which everyone in the Kachsin,
Not only Chabad,
whole world, everyone knows Melech Masada. Not everyone knows all the details, but this is already famous. Melech Masada is pretty famous.
time of this concept of Melech Masada didn't exist.
I'm saying not this Maimer, the Maimer of Kutzera, not Rebbe. So I think somewhere it's brought that's I have to verify, but I think somewhere it's brought that it's Mishem the Baal Shem Tov. And not in the Maimer of not in the Maimer of Kutzera. Sorry?
Elul's then it's Melech Masada is absolutely cloud.
I'm saying, I think there's another system. There is brought in another sefer or something also this idea. I don't remember right now. It's not. I didn't look into this.
It's not just.
I think there's another solution sefer which also brings it. Could be who brings Mishem the Baal Shem Tov. Maybe there is something vague. I don't remember exactly, but there is something.
It's Melech Masada concept is in general.
Yeah.
Is the bizarre.
I think you're right. I don't remember where, but something rings a bell. What you're saying. So. Now, so Alter brings this interesting mashal. We're going to get to it very soon. About Melech Masada and Anila Day. Now, this pasuk, a lot of things I'm going to say, is probably a lot of most of you are familiar with. This pasuk is a pasuk from Shir Hashirim, Right, the Shidduchim is a mashal of a chassan and a kala. Is and the nimshal is between the Eibishter and the Yidden. That's the mashal of Anila Deidi. So over there it mentions Anila Deidi V'Deidi Li, that I am the Deidi. Right, in Hebrew you say.
Abdu Balabel, Balab.
Yeah, the Deidi is the, how do you say in Hebrew? My beloved, or the one yeah, my beloved, right? Anila Deidi, I am to my beloved. The Deidi Li, and my beloved is to me. And so, okay, so it's a mashal chassan and kala, and we're gonna. This is the nimshal is Anila Deidi, is that Ani is the Yid. Like the Yid, Ani is a Yid. Is Odeidi, the Deidi is Hashem. The Yid is turning toward Hashem. The Deidi Li is Hashem is turning to the Yid. Deidi Li, that beloved to me. Ava between the Yid and the Eibishter, and the Eibishter's Ava to the Yid.
The good Doidi is my beloved.
My beloved,
Yes.
beloved. Yeah.
Like the nigga. Oh, Doidi, Doidi, Doidi.
That's from Shira Moshe, yeah. Yeah. So we bring the Rashi Tevis Elul. So this is from the Alter Rebbe's Maimon. Alter Rebbe brings, he says the Rashi Tevis of these words is Elul. Now goes way back. Like he brings over here, you'd see in the other two. This already is from the Budraham. Budraham is additional. So this goes way back to Rashi Tevis. And he brings also from Kabbalah, Priyetz Chaim, Nizam, yeah. These all in the back. This is born in Kabbalah. It's brought already in the Budraham. Yilo David David. Brings before Book of the Torah. The Torah, the Rebbe explains the Maimer, Dibur Hamaskel, and this the Hamaskel's title. And he says, "Hashaych is the Elul Ani V'Deidi." So what's the connection, right? There has to be some connection. It's not just Hashatevis. And we found the remes for Elul. We found the remes Elul. There must be a connection between Anila Deidi V'Deidi Li to Elul. To these, what's the connection between them? And like he brings in the other four, he says, like it says in the Keditera, Kosher Keditera, Shemaskas Hamayra Inyan, Kib Elul. Right after he says that Hashatevis Anila Deidi is Deidi Li, is Hashatevis Elul, he says, the Indian is because in Elul, he's explaining why is Elul the Rosh Hashanah Nilo David. He said the Zeshab Elul is also Sato Bir in Nilo David Rosh Hashanah, which means I can explain right now that in Elul we start Anila Deidi is Anila Deidi, the first part. Anila Deidi means the Yidden are lifting up towards Hashem. Like it says, let's back in the second line, or sure the friend, but back in the Maimer, Ki be'elul yisrusul l'sata Anila Deidi. And Elul, that's what's Yisrusul l'sata? Yisrusul l'sata is just Aramish, but it's words. It means Yiseirus. The l'sata, no matter. It's arousal from below. That's all it means. Fancy word for the things that are arousal from below. It means who's below? The Yid. The Yid is below, and Hashem is above. And the Yid is being misguided, is being inspired and being aroused to rise up towards Hashem, to have a love towards Hashem, and like we're going to see, to do something for Hashem. That's what it's supposed to say. So Elul is starts with Anila Deidi. Anila Deidi, he wants to listen. Right? And Anila Deidi means that we are doing our part first. Before Hashem's doing his part, we're doing our part first. That's Anila Deidi. So he says that's why Elul is Anila Deidi V'Deidi Li. But the question is, if it's about us doing our parts, if Elul is about doing our part, so what is the second part, V'Deidi Li?
What is doing the little?
Yeah.
V'Deidi Li, not Shach
Right, it's not Shach to Elul. By the way,
but Hashem Tevot V'Deidi Li is also
right. We're going to get to that. Very good. We're going to get to that. By the way, he doesn't mention over here, but the Bach, he mentioned the other two. The Bach brings this. I believe that the Bach says that the last four letters of the the letters at the end of the four words. The letters at the end of the four words is Yod, 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 Yod. Ani Ldodi V'Dodi Li is four Yods. Arbaim.
The day from Rosh
Yud is 10, times 4 is 40. Starting from Chodesh Elul until Yom Kippur is 40 days. And that's why Ani Ldodi Li is that we're going to say, exactly, we're going to say Ani Ldodi starts in Elul. That the Yidden are doing it part. The day they leave, like he says now, and then he continues the mind with Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim, Hamshach from Amayla Lamati Yisus Leila. The day they leave. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, that's when from above Hashem is reciprocating, is responding to our part, what we're doing. He's doing what's called the Yisus Leila. Again, it just means it's stated as Momayla, it means a arousal from above. The deity is that he's our beloved is coming to us. Hashem is inspiring us. Like we'll see. He's going to explain. We're going to get into explaining what these things. We're just starting the laying out laying out what it says in the Maimer over there, and then we're going to explain. We're going to explain this. Okay, so far we're clear. So we have all we said is that Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Ani Ldodi V'Dodi, and we said that the Ani Ldodi, which is what the Yidden doing their part, that's in Elul, and V'Dodi Li, where Hashem is doing his part, that is in the 10 days from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, where he says Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Actually, he says that happens at Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur.
Who said that in the Ldodi?
Sure.
No.
The mimer, which mimer are we talking about? The Alter Rebbe. Yeah.
You mean before the Alter Rebbe? What do you know on the Ldodi?
Oh, the Rosh Hashanah is brought already before.
It was, but nobody knew about it.
That could be. There are, say, a few people. It wasn't as publicized as
it wasn't so popular.
Right. It wasn't. Right. It's not something that when people heard about Elul, they thought they didn't think in those terms.
Right.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on. Hamshach of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim hi idei Sata Elul. It says that the Hamshacha, again, the word Hamshacha means Hamshacha means drawing down. What does it mean, drawing down? It means, and just like the Gashmi is and literally, what does it mean, drawing down? It's something which is above, and you're drawing it down. It's water which is found in a waterfall, right? There's water which is on top of the fall, and then it falls down, you draw it down. So too, it's a concept of something which is above is coming down. So Hashem is shining from above down to us. So, and that happens, we said, on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Adding over here that Shachar Rosh Hashanah Kippurim had the Yisrus L'Sata Elul. That happens through a Yisrus L'Sata, which is an Elul, which means through us doing our parts in Elul. So then we're able to accomplish through that afterwards. We're able to accomplish the Deidi Li in Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, which means it's a sequence. We do our part, and Hashem does his part. Ani Ldodi V'Dodi Li. Right.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Also, there's another thing with Dalits.
It's okay. Look at what you do.
That is, you're using yours, right? Well,
I heard.
so maybe you.
Okay.
Okay, so he's saying that this is, so it's a sequence. It's one comes through the other. Through this we do doing our part. The Deidi in Elul. Through this we come to the Deidi Li in Tishrei, in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. V'zel she'elul. Just a few lines in. V'zel she'elul hu Rosh Hashanah and Ldodi V'Dodi Li, which you were asking before. You put a question on. We will ask. The second part is chapter. So and it says. We said that Ani Ldodi V'Dodi Li. We're saying that the Rosh Hashanah is the Rosh Hashanah of Elul. So the Deidi Li is also part of the Rosh Hashanah of Elul.
But it's not Elul, it's Tisha.
Well, Lachura, we just said that's only in Tisha and Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. So Lachura, why is that? Why is the Day Li part of the Rosh Hashanah of Elul? Lachura, it's happening after Elul. So basically, but since we just said that Hashem does His part in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, it's through us doing our part in Elul. So since Elul, what we do in Elul is what happens Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. So it comes out that it's part of it's part of Elul because it's accomplished through Elul. The Day Li, the day Hashem doing His part is accomplishment of Elul, something that we accomplish through our doing our parts. So therefore, it's part of Elul. When we do our parts, Hashem does His part. So we accomplish that Hashem should do His parts. So that's why it's also part. The Hashem's part is also part of the Rosh Hashanah of Elul because Elul is what brings Hashem's part also. Even though technically it's not an Elul, Hashem doing His part is not an Elul. Hashem turning towards the Eden is not happening as happening as Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. It's not happening in Elul. Still, we say it's part of the Rosh Hashanah of Elul, since it's being accomplished through this. Hashem does His part because we do our part. When we do our part, Hashem turns. When we turn towards Hashem, Hashem turns towards us. So since it's through us, what we're doing Elul, therefore the Day Li, which means Hashem doing His part, is also part of the Rosh Hashanah of Elul. Is also part of Elul. It's connected to Elul. Okay, basically we said that Ani Ldodi Mevorchim Elul, it's a pasuk in Shirashim, which refers to us turning towards Hashem, and Hashem turning towards us. Is its abbreviation is Rosh Hashanah is Elul, and we're saying that even though the Ldodi Mevorchim, which is Hashem doing His part, is technically happens in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, but since we're doing our part, Ani Ldodi and Elul, and that's bringing that Hashem should do His part, so that's why it's also part of Elul. It's considered part of Elul, even though technically it's not. That's what he said. That's why Elul is included in the Rosh Hashanah of Ldodi Li. Shekava Ldodi Li nichlo b'Rosh Hashanah Elul. That also the Ldodi Li is also included in the Rosh Hashanah Elul. Why? When we do our parts, when we do from below, and it's also a preparation for the Hamshacha, for drawing down that the Ldodi Li, that Hashem should do His part on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Right. Right. But the Rebbe is not happy with this. The Rebbe is not happy with it. So that's the passion. When you learn the Alter Rebbe's Maimer, that's an explanation. But the Rebbe, everything has to fit perfectly. There's no almost. I said it's not enough that the fact that we, through doing our parts, we bring that Hashem should do His part. There might be some more. So. Sure. More my heart. Sure. So it's not enough. This explanation is not enough. That just because we're doing our part, therefore we're bringing that Hashem should do His parts. That's not enough. It's the beginning of the minor. It should be Shin Samar Gimel. Right? It's Shin or Shin Samar Gimel. Yeah. That's not enough. Because at the end of the day, the Ldodi Li, Hashem doing His part is not happening. It's not happening in Elul. It's happening in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. It's happening in Tishrei. That's the question. Sarach B'ir, we have to understand. End of the first paragraph. Sarach B'ir, Kinizeh Shois is Vav Lamed. Since the letters of Vav Lamed, smart. Rashi Tevis from the Ldodi Li. Hey, me take this Elatzim. Since the letters Vav and Lamed, which is the abbreviation for the Ldodi Li, which Hashem doing His part, is actually part of the word of Elul itself. The Vav Aleph Vav. Aleph Lamed is Nil Ldodi. Vav the Vav Lamed, the Ldodi Li, is actually part of the word of Elul. So mashma shechedesh Elul leirak hakdama for the Ldodi Li. Al shechedesh Elul gama inin the Ldodi Li. Seems like the month of Elul is not only a prerequisite and a preparation for the Ldodi Li, but in this month itself, in Elul itself, you already have a Ldodi Li. You already have Hashem giving us something in this month. It's true Rosh Hashanah and Kippur Hashem it has V'dei Li. That's what it says in the Maimon. That's what the Rebbe says. He says V'dei Li is in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. We're not taking that away. That stays. But there has to be some sort of a V'dei, some sort of Hashem doing his part also in this month of Elul, not just us doing our parts. Okay, it's very important to understand this. Ani l'deidi is that the Yid, the Yid is to his beloved. Deidi means beloved to Hashem. A Yid is doing his part, like we're going to see what that means soon. They're doing their part towards Hashem. That's Elul. Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, that's when the Deidi Hashem is doing his part. But since the Deidi is also part of the word Elul, it must be that already in Elul, you already have that Hashem is doing something for us already in Elul, not just us doing our parts. So this is the question: what is the B'dei What is the Hashem doing for us in the month of Elul? Besides for Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, B'dei Li, Hashem's doing something in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, like we're going to see what that means soon. But then what is that B'dei Li also that Hashem in this month in Elul is already doing for us? So that's where we're up to the next base, up to the next paragraph. And he brings another concept of Kabbalah. Something also was said before. It's not a new thing. So that's in this Melech Basad, like we say, the saying is already before. That's in the mashal maybe was brought out before, but the idea was already earlier. Because what's the idea? Mashal Maimer Beis Sheba Elul's Man Yigimel Midasarach. Says this month, the month of Elul, the words is from, it says in the Rei Mishnah Sidim Masachas Elul and Priyetz Chayim. But Arizal says that the month of Elul is a time, it's a very auspicious time, very special time. It's a time when the 13 attributes of mercy shine. Hashem's 13 attributes of mercy shine. A very merciful time. It's called Chodesh HaRachamim. It's a month of Rachamim. Hashem has extra mercy for Yidden. Special month. It's a very auspicious time. Right, the Alter Rebbe here he doesn't discuss it yet. I'm saying, but that's going to be brought up soon. Alter Rebbe is going to ask, if it's such a special time, Yugim Tzarachim, Alter Rebbe says in the Maimer, he says in Kedideta, when is these 13 attributes of mercy, when do they shine? They shine when? Yom Kippur. And Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year.
From which Chodesh Elul to
Right, but he says in Kabbalah, the Alter Rebbe says he knows in Kabbalah, it says every Yom Tiv, it's not just a day on the calendar to remember something, a technical thing. Let's find a Memorial Day, let's find a Labor Day, like you just have, Hashem the Havdil, just to put on the calendar, right? In Kabbalah and Befsidim, there's some spiritual energy happening in this time. That's what makes it a Yom Tiv. That's why it's special. That's why it feels different, right? That's why it feels extra special, because there's something. Your neshama feels something special happening with you. We don't, so we don't always pick up everything, but that's what is brought in Kabbalah Chassidus and explains every Yom Tiv, Shabbos, Yom Tiv, what's special about this Shabbos, this is Yom Tiv and Shabbos. But explains to you what happens on this day. So it says in Kabbalah that Arizal says that what happens so that it's not just Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur we know is this very special day. In El also, it shines these 13 attributes of mercy. Wow, saying, but it doesn't look like Yom Kippur today, right? It looks like a regular day. We go to work and we do regular stuff. So that's something Alter Rebbe is going to try to explain, and we're going to explain soon. And so keep this question in our minds. That's what's the difference? How can Yom Kippur such a special day? And it doesn't feel like that on the whole level. Why is it a regular day? So that's
like a build-up?
It is a build-up. You're saying a build-up that you give us an action and slowly building up, right? So I like the thought. It's a nice thought. To tell you the truth, I'm not going to say no, because I don't know enough Kabbalah to know if there is such a concept. So I'm not going to negate it. But the Alter Rebbe doesn't explain it that way. So I'm not saying it doesn't say maybe such a concept somewhere. Right. He was suggesting that maybe there was a buildup of Yigim Tzarachim, that it starts off slowly and it comes to its peak on Yom Kippur. That's what he was suggesting. But again, so the day should be becoming more special,
like CSM.
It seems like the Alter Rebbe would have brought such a concept. It seems like, like, yeah. Okay, so let's see what he says. So let's go back to the beginning of Sib Beis. Mamshach v'Maimer, the Maimer means the Alter Rebbe's Maimer, and says Sheba Elo whose man Yigim Sarachim. Okay, Elo is a time of the 13 attributes of mercy shine. Now, we already have our answer to our question we just asked before. Not the question which we just asked us now, but the question we asked before. Where do you have Hashem doing something, giving something to us in Elul? Where do you have a Deidi Li in Elul? And this is the answer. The answer is we have the Yud Gimel Mitzrachim in Elul also. So we have that also. Okay. Now, we're going to have to understand again. We're going to throw in a question right over here. A question. So if we have a daily now, so why does if we have a daily now? Let's just have it in our minds that if we have the daily already now that Hashem is giving us something now. So why does Alter Rebbe say that Elul is Anila Daily? Why did he say it's also a daily?
Right? He should start from the daily.
Yeah, you should start with it. There is actually in Shir Hashirim also says the day you leave any lay. It's actually in the Shir Hashirim it also says that there's such a pasuk. It first says day you leave, and then it says ani lay.
It's start daily.
Yes, and Chassidus explains also based on Kabbalah that that's the time of Nisan. That's the time of Pesach. Then Hashem first reveals Himself to us, like by Pesach. Who Hashem first. First Hashem started. He revealed himself. He took us out of the mud in Mitzrayim. We were, and then Tashari Tuma. And then afterwards we started Svidas Leimer. We started Aniloi. We started doing our parts. But that's Nisan. That's a time of Tzaddikim. Nisan is a time of Tzaddikim. It's a time which that shines from above. That's a time when the dew falls. Dew falls by itself from above. How Matzah just comes from above. Tishrei is our work. Actually, I'm saying it starts from Elul. Starting from Elul Tishrei, we're going to start asking for rain, which comes from. We have to daven for rain, and think about the letters of Tishrei. Also, we're going to say is Taf Shin Reish, going backwards. We're starting from bottoms up.
Reish Taf.
Yeah, it should have been Reish Shin Taf. We start Tishrei, it's Taf Shin Reish, right? So this time of the year, we're starting Anila Deidi first, and then V'Deidi. We have to start. It's Shuvah, the time of Shuvah. Elul Tishrei, the time of Shuvah, about Shuvah time, right? So the Alter Rebbe says that Elul is the time Anila Deidi that we're returning to Hashem first. Question is, we just said that Hashem is also doing something for us now. Hashem's giving us a Yigim Mitzrachim. Hashem's giving us a 13 attributes of mercy. Hashem is giving us a spiritual energy now also. So let's continue inside. The Hagam Sheba Elul. Yeah, back inside. The Hagam Sheba Elul. Who I need the deity is even though the Rebbe says that Elul is a time when we're doing Anila Deidi, we're doing our part, it's Susato, which means an arousal from below. The Koma came is Susato Shala Adam. Nevertheless, this that the person becomes inspired, especially when he's far from godliness, when he feels himself distant from Hashem. Person feels himself distant from Hashem. He doesn't feel inspired. Feels down. Who are these? This that the person could get inspired in this month is not with his own power. It's because he had. Right, he gets the power from above. Right? Person, there was once a tzaddik. The Rebbe brings us in a Maimer. The Rebbe brings us in a Maimer. He says there was a tzaddik, a very big tzaddik, and he started feeling good about himself, and he felt that everything he does is with his own koyach, his own koyach. All his avodah, all his great spiritual service is because he accomplished it. He did it on his own. He didn't need anyone's help. Didn't need Hashem's help. Didn't need Siyata D'Shmaya. So the whole story says that what happened was he forgot a halacha by Natil Sedayim, a simple halacha, a simple law by Natil Sedayim. And he's like, how could I forget that? How can he forget such a simple law? And he was so upset about himself. He started going down, and so he eventually, little by little, he went all the way down, all the way down the. Well, that was ringing across the point that a person always should remember that Hashem is the one who gives them everything, not just the Gashmias. So even this that we're able to serve Hashem, Hashem is the one who gives us Sata B'Shmaya. And Elul, this that we're able to do our part. Now we're talking about the opposite. People who feel that they're far from Hashem, they don't feel inspired. You should know that that Hashem gives special power in this month that he should be able to come close. That's going to be the message. That's the message that we have power.
It's also the wake up.
Right, but again,
he's giving us.
I'm going to throw this out for a second because we're going to get to it soon. That this power that Hashem is giving us, we're going to see soon, is not a power that turns us on, but it's like it gives us the, like the Rebbe told this person, he says, gives us the match, but we have to strike the match ourselves. We have to strike the match ourselves. We have to turn on our own lights. We have to turn on our own light. We have to do our part. It's not inspiring us. We have to inspire ourselves. But he's giving us the power to inspire ourselves. And that's the idea of what we're going to say. The question was, why is it Ani Ldodi? Why is this month of Elul a time of what we're doing that we consider that we're inspiring ourselves? It should be, since we said it's a time that Hashem is giving us the special 13 attributes of mercy, we should say that Hashem is inspiring us. Because Hashem's not inspiring us. Hashem's giving us the power to inspire ourselves. There's a difference. This is what we're going to talk about. There's a difference between inspiring someone or giving him the power to do it. Right? The great mashpia in Chaim Chiflim Lubavitch used to say, Rabbi Grenim used to say that he used to say a mashal, he used to say a parable, he used to say, which wind brought you here? Which wind brought you to the yeshiva? Which wind brought you to Lubavitch? Which wind brought you to Lubavitch? He says a much like this. He says there was a bird, and he was very lazy bird, and he was so lazy he couldn't get himself to go to the water to drink the water. He was so thirsty. He was going to die from thirst. But he was so lazy that he couldn't get himself to fly to the water to go drink. So the Eibishter had achmanas on him, and the Eibishter caused a wind to blow, and it picked up this bird, and till he landed right next to the water. All the bird had to do is to dip his beak into the water and take a drink. That's all they had to do. But it was so lazy. They couldn't even do that until it died from thirst. So he was saying the mashal. He's saying the Bachrim used to come. They came from different yeshivas. They came from all over. It wasn't the Lubavitch at that time. It wasn't hopefully it still is. It wasn't specifically a certain group. People came from all over. So the Bachrim, the people, they used to enjoy the nigla. There's a lot of they learned very well in Lubavitch in the yeshiva. So a lot of the Bachrim, they came all the way to Lubavitch, and they were learning Gemara the whole day. But they didn't come so much to the Seder of Chassidus. So he's saying, there was a wind that brought you here, brought you to the Shiva. All you have to do is open up the Maimer and learn the Chassidus, put the beak in.
You said the story about this tzaddik that he thought that he's doing everything. Years ago, in a Bel Shavuot by Beit Torah, was Rabbi Eli Abad, the doctor, and we said the whole Tanakh part, maybe one different part. Each part was Atov Shebarofim Lagehenat, and he's a doctor. So we all looked, what's happening here? So he said that every doctor, when an operation or something, it's rough has like I did it. Everything is from Hashem, that. I did. I moved my hand. I said, all the doctor, he's a big tzaddik, this guy. It's a little questionable now. He was a rabbi of Dubai. So now he's in Florida, and I can't see him.
Oh, wow.
He's
Okay, so he's saying Hashem gives the power He gives us the power to inspire ourselves. At the end of the day, it's Ani Ldodi Elul is about us doing our job. So if you give Midas and Akum and Elul, and that's basically the idea, the difference between Elul and Yom Kippur, is that Yom Kippur, you give us Rachamim is revealed in a way that inspires us, not just giving us the power. In Elul, it's here, but we have to tap into it. We have to inspire ourselves. We have to do our parts. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. The Gila Yigim is Sarachan Sheba Elul. This Yigim, Deal is Elul Kolach, Kolachim, Yisar Gaman Chekim B'Yeser, for Nesinas Kayach, Lamayla Obed Anila David. He adds over here, important to know, that this Nesinas Kayach, this power which he's giving, is to everyone, every Yid, no matter how far the Yid is, who feels how far he feels, every single Yid, this Yigim Sarachan is given to him to be able to do his work to inspire himself. And like he says, this revelation Elul is mainly a it gives us power, but not that it inspires the person. It doesn't arouse the person. And the person himself has to do his work. That's I have to do my part. And he says, therefore, that's the Maila's advantage because of that. And Elul over Aseres in Yitshuva, but Aseres in Yitshuva, Prabhu Hashem, you could put him on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. It's a time that person, everyone feels very inspired in these 10 days, especially Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Right? Even, what's the expression? The 3-day Yid, the 3-day Jew. 3-day Jew, right? We had a lot of such people. Some people which even that, but there's 3-day Jew. Why? Because they feel the neshama feels something inspiring them. It doesn't make sense. So 3-day Jew totally doesn't make sense. The whole year nothing. He says he doesn't believe in anything. Hashanah Kippur he comes. Why do you come? Doesn't make sense. It's like some of them they say they do believe it. Some of them say clearly they say no, I don't really whatever. So why do you come? The neshama shines. Why? Because then it's not about his work. Hashem, the Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, the Eibishter is shining. The Eibishter is inspiring. And Elul is not running. Because Elul is giving you the power, not inspiring you. You have to inspire yourself. Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, it comes, it inspires a person. It arouses the person. This is the person doing something. It's not that he's doing something special. It's because Hashem is arousing him to do it. That's what's special. That's unique. Because when a person does something independently, a person does something on his own, that's more precious. Right? There's a Yemen, right? It says Hecher is as menempted by the hands. It's a greater person reaches a higher level when when Hashem holds you by your hands and inspires you and takes you for a nice ride. But higher, more precious is the Tut Aleim when we do ourselves, when we do something ourselves, when nobody's inspiring us. That's harder. So that's special. That's Ani Ldodi. That's Elul. Elul is when we're doing Avedis Adam, Aveda B'Keich Atzma. A person doing it. But again, we need the power. We need the power for that. We get from Hashem. Okay. So now let's talk about the mashal. Let's still didn't talk about the Melech Masad mashal. We're doing Melech Masad, the king in the fields. We're going to talk about the mashal. Now that it's Gimel. So we explained 2 things. Okay, just as a recap. We're starting off with a recap of what we just said. We said number 1, number 1 is that Elul, the power is given to every single person, even those who are very far, who feel very far from Hashem. Every single Yid has that power to inspire themselves. That's number 1, we said. Point number 2, and so number 2 is that it's not inspiring you, it's just giving you the power. That was the point number 2. So to explain this, the Rebbe continues by bringing this mashal of Melech Basada. Shagilu gives it after Melech gives Melech Basada. As similar to a king in the fields.
How do you know what it's the Rebbe saying the Maimon? What is the ultimate saying the Maimon? That's it's the Rebbe saying the Maimon. I'm not saying it's the ultimate.
No,
I'm a little confused. What do you,
it's explaining. That's explaining out the Rebbe's mind. It's a beer out the Rebbe's mind.
but this is the Rebbe talking.
No, this is the Rebbe's mind. The Tachshon Chavav is the Rebbe's mind. But so what happens usually?
It's based on the Alter Rebbe Minor. You know what the Alter Rebbe Minor? He said much a lot of this word. He said, but how to expect it? They have explained it.
Right. Yeah. So usually the way that Rebbe's Maimarim are set up, were written, all these and made available to Maimarim, is that first he brings what it says in the earlier Maimarim, and then afterwards he brings what the Rebbe how the Rebbe explained it. But over here, it's all connected.
So, you don't know what he's saying, which Maimon you're always referring to here.
No, I know. When he said the Maimer, he always means the Maimer Kotetera. And whenever he says the Mamshaka Maimer, he always means that Maimer Kotetera. So the Maimer which he started off in the beginning, the first line of Borba Kotetera Maimer the Masalzeh, so he always sticks with that Maimer. So that's the Maimer he's talking about.
But what Gimel? Day or Varshna, and then it's
Right.
That's the Rebbe.
So the Rebbe is saying,
It's not the Maimon.
but that he's saying in order to explain these two ideas, Mamshaka Maimer, the Rebbe. Alter Rebbe brings in his Maimer the Mashal Melchizedek. He's explaining the Alter Rebbe's Maimer. This is pshat. This is not the way you learn Alter Rebbe's Maimer. This is they have a Ksiv Veres. They come with a beer. This is the way they explain it. It's based on this. Rebbe has a lot of Maimarim on the New Viva Deity, but this is a very fundamental. He explained it very nicely. So the Nechilukim Melech Basada Melech Bechalim Shenan. So okay, for those who we need to refresh the mashal, Alter Rebbe's mashal. Alter Rebbe brings this famous mashal. Yeah, not everyone knows all the explanations about this, but the mashal is like this. There's a king. The way he's in in the palace, and the king the way he's in the field. The king is the way he's in the field. He comes to the field, and then he's
Casual.
He's casual, very good. He's not dressed as royal, and he's not with his whole splendor and grandeur as he is in the palace. Palace itself is stunning and all and also the robes and the crown that he wears. When a person walks in there, it instills an awe on the person. The person feels the glory, feels it. On the other hand, when he's in the field, it's not as apparent because he's dressed more casual, and he's not in the palace. So that's one difference. Another difference is that when he's in the palace, only special people could greet him, and you have to wait. As Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, people wait days and years to be able to see his glory, to get an appointment with the king. And even that, only mufchadim shabam, only those special people are able to get in to get an audience with the king. Not everyone's able to get it. On the other hand, when he's in the fields, the king greets everyone. All the citizens could come. All the citizens could he greets everyone with a smile, and it doesn't make a difference who. And everyone could come and ask the request, and he shows a smile to them, a gracious face. So these are two points which we're discussing. I think I'm going to say it outside because we just only have less than 10 minutes. So we said in Elul, we said one difference we said is that in Elul, that we're not being inspired by Hashem. We're given the power, we're given the opportunity. We're not actually being inspired. In Tishrei, in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, them for being inspired. That was one thing. So that we see in the mashal. Also, we see that when there's a difference in the way the person's in the palace, and he sees the king with all his glory. So then he's awe-stricken. He's filled with dread and awe and from the greatness of the king. And it's an automatic thing. The person walks in there and he's just trembling from fear and awe. On the other hand, when he's in Elul, is like the king in the fields. At that time, the king is more casual. He's not giving off that awes and glory as he is in the palace. And but he's giving you an opportunity. Anyone who wants, he's giving you an opportunity to come to him, to reach out to him. He's there for you. He's out there. He's out in the sada. The sada means he's in the field. It's a weekday. It's a regular day. So that's the idea of Malach Lasad. He's there for you, but he's giving you the opportunity, but he's not inspiring you. You have to go out and greet him. He's there for you. If you want to go, you don't have to have these special appointments. He's there for you. He's giving you an opportunity. So that was the second point. The second point is that he's there for even people, everyone, even people who feel far from the king, who feel they have no connection to the king, they can't come to the king, they can't get an audience with the king. He's there for, yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, for everyone. Everyone, he's there for everyone. So those 2 points, that's what you see in the mashal, these 2 points. On one hand, he's not inspiring you, on the other hand, he's giving an opportunity for everyone, with no exceptions, to go and greet him. And then he adds, and he
And
shows,
why is Tishrei and El Nira? It shows the casualty of it. It should be more of a half.
right,
It's a little steal there.
right.
If it's Yira and it's Pachad, painting Pachad, should be Pachad's palace, Pachad's all.
So all is
It's
Yira.
really see paint Pachad, Hashem, like,
All,
but in the Marshal, you
all,
see it's Fakir.
all
You have
is,
to be
so
happy,
Alter Rebbe explains,
smiling on El.
the Alter Rebbe explains that all is Yira.
Right.
So all is it means, what does it mean Yira? Yira, there's different levels of Yira, right? You learn Chassidus, there's tens of levels of different explanation of levels of Yira. But Yira is awe. When you walk into a very great person, right? A great tzaddik, a great big Talmid Chacham, a very great person, you feel awe in the presence, right? That's Yiras Hareimus. You feel. So the Rebbe says that Rosh Hashanah and Kippur is a time when Hashem's Malchus, Hashem's kingship, is revealed, and at that time, because Hashem's is revealed, Hashem's Mulcha, Hashem as a Melech, and that's why we say Melech Hakadosh and Melech Hamishpat, and we say all the different things about Hashem being a king. And like you have at that time, I should take right, and it says and Maschal Kamashvirasa, and Yavin Kol Yitzur Kiyati Yitzarte. Malchus, the Hashem's Malchus is being revealed the way it is in its ultimate way. So then it calls it a pachad, not just down here's a pachad in all the ilamis. It says all the ilamis, Machus Kol Ilamis says in all the ilamis. Alter Rebbe says there's a pachad, there's a fear. Actually, Alter Rebbe says something very interesting thing, is that what does it mean to have awe and fear of Hashem? It says it's not possible for us to have a real fear and awe of Hashem. Why not? We're scared. We're scared of crossing the street, of being run over by a car. We're scared of losing some money. We're scared of something scary. Or we have awe from something we could see. Of a great person or something, right? It's great sights, right? But we don't really, able to feel Hashem, able to be in touch with Hashem. It's something which is Hashem's existence, something beyond our existence.
It's not tangible.
It's something beyond our existence. So therefore, it wouldn't be possible, if not for Hashem revealing His Malucha, Hashem revealing His greatness, and giving us the power to fear Him, we wouldn't be able to have a fear of Hashem. And Rosh Hashanah and Kippur is a time where Hashem gives us the ability to have Yiras Shamayim, Yiras Hashem. And this, that we're able to fear Hashem the entire year, and this is the moment at the beginning, it says this. It comes from Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, from Hashem revealing His Malchus to us. That's how the whole year, we're able to have all fear to Hashem. Because we're not able to, by ourselves, we're not able to reach such a thing. Same things with Avodah. Now, in Elul is the idea is a very simple thing. It's greeting the king. What does it mean to greet the king? Greeting the king. What does it mean? What does those words mean? It means to be Mekabel the Melech. What does it mean to Mekabel the Melech? Kabbalah Melech Shemayim is to accept Hashem as our king. That's what it means. That's a simple said. It means that that we doing our part in Elul means that we live according to Shulchan Aruch, and we accept Hashem as our Melech. Hashem is naturally a person feels that he's a as their Melech. We feel like we're our own Melech, and so it means that we should be battled to Hashem, that Hashem is our Melech. We should do to do what the Eibishter wants us to do. Shulchan Aruch. Simple things, and that's shaykh to every single year. That's what we're saying. It's not a special aveda. Elul is not a special aveda for big tzaddikim, or great chassidim, or big, big people. We said it's for every single person could greet the king. If we're going to ask every single person to have great levels of love and fear of Hashem, and great love and awe, halavai that our hearts weren't loving and fearing other things. We enjoy other things, but so how do we fall into this pot of rice over here? How do we fall into Elul? Elul is for every yid. Elul is not for the big tzaddik only. Elul is for like we're saying, it's for tshuva. Tshuva kipshute literally is for people who messed up, like me and ain't tzaddik badashem le'yechta, and every single yid. And that's and now's the time to do tshuva, to say, I messed up. I did prikus ill. I didn't listen to Hashem, and I got carried away like people do. And now it's a very simple thing. We're going to greet the king. The king says, "Here, I'm here for you. I'm giving you opportunity that even though you're out in the field, says even the yidden which are in the midbirth." He also says people which means the yidden which are not doing what we're supposed to do. For them also, Hashem says, I'm here for you. I'm in the Sada. I'm here for you. And I'm waiting for you to come and to greet me and to kabel me as the Melech and to do Kabbalah Samach Shemayim. And that's for every single Yid. But the Yid has to do his parts. Now there's I want to add one more thing because I know it's night, it is 10 o'clock, right? So let's finish off with the punchline. That it says that after this, that it doesn't just say that the king is out there to greet every year, that's there accessible for anyone who wants. By the way, the Fidik Rebbe adds, and every year is able to, not they're only allowed to greet the king, but every year is able to. Something which the Fidik Rebbe added for our generation to say that people think, oh, I'm not able to. Every year is able to greet the king, able to do what the Eibishter wants.
Also, is greeting you with a smile.
He adds that he's also greeting you with a smile, with a happy face. Why does he have to add that? Why does he have to add that? So this is something which the Rebbe adds.
If it's you shouldn't smile. You should be serious.
Right. Kabbalah Seil again is the simcha. I'm saying that's another whole discussion. Kabbalah Seil doesn't mean we have to be depressed. Faket. Kabbalah Seil is a soldier. Kabbalah Seil is like a soldier. He does what the commander asks. A soldier goes with a march. That's another whole discussion. But he goes to war. He goes with a march. With the simcha. It doesn't mean to be depressed. It means a Kabbalah Seil to greet the king, the simcha.
Hallelujah.
So it says the king shines his face and shows a happy face to every person. Why does he have to add that? Why is it not enough that the king's in the field and he's accessible for anyone who wants to greet him? Why does he also have to shine so a happy face? And this is what the title of the shir was. The title of the shir, we said the king is in the field. What if I can't get myself to greet him? So this I love this nakud over here. So Rebbe says this is the Rebbe's nakud. Says there's those. It says when he's there, anyone who wants could go out and greet him. Anyone who wants to go out and greet him. Now, what happens if somebody he's so stuck that his want is not so strong? How strong is your want, right? It's some things which you want a little bit, some things you really want, some things which nothing stands. Nothing stands in the way of will, right? So his will is a little bit shvach, is a little bit because he's stuck. He's stuck in his Yetzer Hara. His Yetzer Hara has him in hostage. That's the today's words, right? Hostage. Has him as in hostage. Without actually the Rebbe's words, he says, he's in hostage in the hands of the Yetzer Hara. And even when he wants to, he has a ratzon. He says, I want to do tshuva. He has a hit at tshuva. He has in his mind something comes up over there. Anyway, I want to do the right thing, but nothing happening. So he has to know and think about it. This is why we're learning about it, right? So think about it. That is not that only has that Hashem is there.
You have to wait.
Not only that Hashem is there. No. Not only Hashem is there and waiting for you, but when you show that you a goodwill, that you want to, and you just can't get that will to get the action to actually make the change. So you should know that Hashem is smiling towards you and showing his love. That when he sees you
Trying.
giving that love and giving that want, that goodwill, even though you can't make that change, you should think about how Hashem actually is shining his face towards you and smiling to you, and that that is in order to arouse you and to inspire you to be able to have a much stronger want to be able to actually get through all the challenges and actually do what it is. So it starts off in Elul. It starts off with us just thinking a little bit about how Hashem is there waiting for us just to reach out to him and to do what's right. And sometimes we can't get ourselves to do it. But once we do that little bit start, and then we think about how Hashem is reciprocating and shining his face towards us, and then he's inspiring us. But we have to start that little bit ratzon, a little bit want. We just got to start. Then Hashem is going to give us the power to be able to get through that challenge, which is not letting us get to where we actually want to get to be kabbalah b'fnei melech. So we all have the power, and it's so it's easier said than done, but it's what the Rebbe says we can do
With
it.
a smile, we do.
And with a smile, simcha. Yeah. So Kabbalah's oil. Kabbalah said was the Yira. Kabbalah said Lamais is Yira.
Well, this shtickle steer. You know, who Hashem Israel.
Yeah.
And God the Yitzhahar loy hayachaloi.
Right.
He said the Abish doesn't give any sign that he can't overcome. So
Right.
which one is it? On one hand, you're able to overcome the sign, and that's why you have to do tshuva. On the other hand, who Hashem Israel. So how does those two kudus work?
Well, Alter Rebbe says in time he brings this thing about Lula Hashem Ezra. He says it's from the Nefesh Elokis. Right, the Nefesh Elokis, right, there's two shaftim. Alter Rebbe talks about this in Tanya. He says that if the Yitzhahara, if not for the Yitzhatev, Nefesh Elokis having his say also, right? So and Hashem helping him be the Machriya, so Yitaka wouldn't be able to do it. But Lamaisa Hashem helps him.
Yeah, but Lilki said Hashem would not give a person a sign that he can't overcome. So you don't need to Lula Hashem Israel.
But that's Hashem's helping him. That's Hashem's help. That's in the soil, and that's the koyach Abish is giving him. Abish is giving you the koyach. Taka wouldn't be able to do the same without the Abish's koyach.
How could you have a tzaddik that falls? Shever should come tzaddik not to overcome.
Oh, the person has bechira. Person has bechira. Even a tzaddik has bechira. There's nobody that doesn't have bechira. Moshe Rabbeinu has bechira, right? Everyone. That's one of these say this in Yiddishkeit. So everyone, the tzaddik is also able to have a yirida. But the question, if he wants to be misgaber, Hashem is giving him the koyach to do it. He has the koyach. He can't say.
So when he's nitshel, David should give him the koyach.
You have to do it. Giving you koyach doesn't mean that Hashem's going to do it for you. You're not a puppet. So you have
You have to light the match. You give you the match.
Same
Same idea.
You have the Nesinis
You
koyach.
have to give you the match.
Yeah, Hashem's not
to be motivated.
right. Well, you got to do your part, and then Hashem will do. You have the koyach. Hashem's giving you the koyach to do it. It seems impossible, but
It's like I think the question is better than the it's a concept.
okay.
Think that it's smart to you. That's therefore can be best.
It's a circular.
No, I said think about it. That was smart to you.
Right, this marshal, right, about the match, right? And the Eibush is giving you the match. He gives you the koyach. You can't say I don't have the match. I don't have the tools. You have the tools. You have all the tools. Shema Israel.
Who's Chaim? Chaim, please.
Shkoyach.
After Marek, we need some people to bring all the boxes from the porch downstairs. Please, thank you. The young guys.
Yeah, please.
Svir, young?
Old. I'm not old. No, you're old. See? In a white hair. What are you talking? I'm older than you. Good up with Chapel Oven. Well, that's not the show.
Sei gesund, Rabbi Davis.
Sure,